A man ruled by fear spends his life bowing to invisible masters. He hesitates, seeking approval before he dares to act. He whispers his dreams like they're confessions, smothering his own light, lest it unsettles those around him. And when the world passes him by, when his voice fades into the background, he questions where he went wrong. But here's the truth I've witnessed. The universe doesn't hand out trophies for shrinking yourself. Kindness alone won't carve your name into the stone of legacy. It won't safeguard the truthful. It won't elevate the modest. It consumes the doubtful and bows to the man unafraid of others. Living fearlessly isn't pride, it's strength. To voice your mind unapologetically, to move without second thoughts, to crave without regret. The fearless act before others. Their voices carry farther. They take what most merely imagine. The timid label it greed. The resolute recognize it as vision. This isn't teaching ruthlessness. It's teaching command. Command of one's fears. Mastery over people. Mastery over your destiny. Eliminate fear, and you eliminate all rulers. The path to excellence begins plainly. Fear nobody, not due to being untouchable, not from being careless, but because fearing someone means handing your tomorrow to their whims. The timid soul questions each decision with hesitation. He anticipates validation. He pursues safety over growth, applause before effort, consent before triumph. This is why his legacy will remain insignificant. Dread becomes the unseen collar fastened upon average lives. They bear it without protest. They adorn it with justifications. I'm being cautious. I must avoid causing offense. I'm simply awaiting the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Time is all that exists. The choice is yours. Command it or be commanded by it. Fear masquerades as virtue, modesty, compassion, restraint. Yet its essence is stagnation. It seduces you into shrinking your life, muting your voice, settling for less. Let this truth sink in. Fear cannot be eradicated. It lives within you. Shackle it rather than revere it. Harness fear's power. Never bow to it. Fear heightens awareness. Excellent. Allow it to guide your intuition but never govern your choices. Fear may arise within you, but never submit to its commands. The fearless man enters every space with unmistakable presence. His words are few yet command attention. No excessive justification. No remorse for aspiration. He states his terms with quiet conviction, needing no validation. Ordinary men fold under strain, conditioned to dread judgment more than results. They crave approval more than victory. This is frailty, and frailty becomes prey. To ascend, you must break the habit of compliance. Welcome opposition. Rewards don't come to those who speak timidly. Embrace refusal. Each rejection removes obstacles to your destined approval. Celebrate setbacks, for the daring loser surpasses the timid spectator. Cherish solitude when necessary. Kings of the jungle roam solitary. Never dread disapproval. Universal comprehension wasn't your destiny. Creation, victory, and mastery were. This journey begins in solitude. The formidable navigate existence uniquely. No pleading, no pursuing. They magnetize necessities through unspoken authority. They are not heartless. They have precise intentions. They are not hostile. They are completely unwavering. Become fearless and observe how others grow anxious about failing you. Notice how they carefully consider each syllable before speaking. They measure every utterance of your name, instinctively knowing you'll accept no slights, no treachery, no half measures. This isn't physical intimidation. It's psychological dominance. The aura of a man who's excised all frailty, who stands unblinking, unbending, indifferent to ease. Make your quietness weighty. Make your principles razor-edged. Make your mere existence communicate what requires no verbal confirmation. Execute this transformation, and reality itself will realign. The universe remains constant. It's your evolution that alters everything. Never forget, the fearless man exists beyond manipulation, not by human hands, not by defeat, not by destiny's whims. Eliminate all fear from your being. This is how power starts. Kindness gets praised openly, but criticized quietly. People will admire your giving nature, praise your modesty, yet overlook you when you're not looking. What they really value isn't your kindness, but your strength. Kindness without strength? That's just pleading. Engrave this truth in your mind. The man who chases approval loses his power. He turns into someone expected, gentle, cautious, the kind the world takes advantage of and throws away. Each agreement made to dodge confrontation, each extra effort given to gain approval, each thought left unspoken to maintain harmony. You exchange strength for temporary ease, and ease is a privilege reserved for those already powerful. A timid man's generosity becomes a weakness. It quietly declares his terror of disapproval. Once detected, this fear gets used, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. He transforms into the reliable option, the perpetually accessible one, receiving final choices, minimal regard, the tiniest portion. Recognize that kindness isn't wicked. Its worth depends on circumstance and status. Offered from power, it's a gift. Offered from insecurity, it disguises apprehension. Don't confuse this with harshness. Being feared requires no hostility. It demands certainty. Certain in your limits, certain in your principles, certain in your deal breakers. Insecure men excuse their requirements. Confident men declare them and anticipate their fulfillment. The fearless man never pleads for approval. He decides when to give, when to wait, when to assist. This deliberate selection gives his deeds significance. They'll claim respect comes from benevolence alone. Partial truth. True respect starts with refusal to compromise. Without the ability to refuse, your agreement means nothing. The world responds to conviction, not compliments. It values steadfastness over people-pleasing. Chasing validation turns you into an echo of everyone else, silencing your true self. You voice popular opinions. You mimic what's fashionable. You feign compliance. And thus, you destroy the authentic persona that might have granted you real influence. Quit trying out for others' approval. Quit bargaining your value. Quit believing pleasantness unlocks opportunities. Opportunities aren't granted to pleasant men. They're offered to those who move with ownership. Listen carefully. If you're incapable of letting others down, you'll never lead them. If you're unwilling to be misinterpreted, you'll never distinguish yourself. Without daring to face refusal, you'll never attain anything meaningful. Being liked isn't your duty. Progressing, regardless of recognition, is. Validation is a side effect, not an objective. If generosity comes naturally to you, wield it intentionally, not desperately. Offer it deliberately, retract it logically, and never weaponize it to mask insecurity. That scent of fear? Others detect it instantly. Transform into the man unshaken by examination. The man whose quiet commands more regard than others' noise. The man steady with or without endorsement. Let no one intimidate you. Not their judgments, their letdowns, nor their malice. The moment you cease craving affection, you evolve into a man impossible to forget. Quietness unsettles others because it's unreadable. It provides no vulnerability to attack, no feelings to manipulate, no validation to pursue. This is why the silent man holds more authority than the talkative one. Words are plentiful. Those who shout loudest frequently reveal fragile intellects, craving attention, dreading obscurity. They talk without reflection. They respond without comprehension, revealing too much each time they open their mouths. Yet the genuinely quiet man poses a threat. He doesn't perform for spectators. He observes, analyzes, and bides his time. Many people are uneasy with silence. They quickly drown it out with noise, small talk, or anything that keeps them busy. Their craving for attention becomes a weakness, making them easy to sway. But the one who masters his words masters his life. He speaks with intention only when it matters. And when he does, others pay attention, not because he shouts, but because every word counts. Remember this: silence isn't just about not speaking, it's about having self-mastery. It shows you're not reacting out of emotion, not taking the bait, and not revealing your thoughts too easily. When you truly fear no one, you feel no need to justify yourself. You're not chasing approval through words. Instead, you let your presence speak for you. When used wisely, silence unsettles people. They'll rush to break it, often saying more than they should. In trying to escape the quiet, they expose their thoughts and insecurities. That's your advantage. The one who speaks less often gains the most. More insight, more calm, and greater influence. While others are busy sharing every thought, every fear, every weakness, you're conserving your energy. You're observing quietly, picking up patterns, preparing for actions they won't expect. Discipline yourself to hold back the need to speak, to argue, to justify. Let people misunderstand you. Let them assume you're less than you are. A silent man is often seen as weak, until his actions prove otherwise. When you do speak, let it be with purpose. Say only what moves you forward. Speak with calm certainty. No arguments, no need to explain. Even in moments of tension, silence gives you the upper hand. The first to shout is the first to lose control. Stay steady. Set the pace. Let your calm presence shake others. Keep your intentions hidden. Don't broadcast your wants. Don't turn your life into a story for others. Let your actions speak. Let your discipline speak. Let your results speak. A man who truly fears no one does not shout to show his power. He doesn't share every step or celebrate every success out loud. He moves quietly and lets his outcomes do the talking. Here's the core truth. Silence makes others confront their own fears. They start guessing what's on your mind, what you're planning, and what you might know that they don't. That's real control. Silence makes you unpredictable. And when no one can predict you, no one can control you. This is what true power looks like. A fearless man doesn't need to be loud. He stays steady. He observes more than he talks. He listens more than he responds. He reveals only what he decides. That's why no one can manipulate him. Let the world make noise. Let them chase the spotlight. You'll move through it all like a silent force, steady, composed, and untouchable. Hesitation doesn't shout. It doesn't attack. It waits quietly, then takes everything. The one who hesitates always trails, missing chances, missing action, missing greatness. It's not the gifted who outrun him, but the brave. Make no mistake, indecision isn't wisdom. It's fear wearing a mask. You convince yourself you're being careful, waiting for the right time, making the smart move. But deep down, you're just afraid to commit. Most people are. They'd rather stand by than step up. But real power doesn't hesitate. It moves. The world isn't claimed by those who wish. It belongs to those who act. The man who decides may not always be right, but he always moves forward. He makes a choice. He follows through. He adjusts as needed. While others are still overthinking, he's already creating, already succeeding. Hesitation is the hiding place of the weak. They use it to avoid blame, avoid pressure, avoid risk. But that shield is fragile. It breaks the moment real pressure hits. You have to break the cycle of second guessing. You need to reject delay like it's poison, because every pause, every doubt, is a moment the world moves on without you. Speed is strength, not chaos, but clear, focused action. Train yourself to choose quickly, not because it's simple, but because true power requires it. A fearless man isn't paralyzed by what if. He knows no choice is flawless, and still he chooses, because progress is life. Stillness is slow death. Don't wait to feel confident. Move, and confidence will come. Confidence is built through action, not overthinking. Action creates evidence, and evidence destroys fear. Hesitation weakens you. It makes you doubt your value, your direction, your gut. And the longer you wait, the more others make choices for you. They assign your role. They take your opportunities. They shape your story. To fear no one is to move when others freeze, to move without needing permission, to enter the unknown and shape it to your purpose. The ones who rise aren't always the most intelligent. They're the sharpest. They spot a chance and act. They speak when others stay quiet. They take risks while others hesitate. They move while others overthink, not out of recklessness, but because they won't waste life standing still. Indecision speaks in mediocre terms. It echoes constantly. Perhaps another time. I need to consider it. I'll attempt it once prepared. These are the mantras of the ineffective. Eliminate that inner dialogue. Substitute it with a single order: act. Launch into action, unprepared. Voice your thoughts, unverified. Advance without seeing the route. Course correct along the way. Without that first step, you'll never transform into the fearless man. Self-assured not from omniscience, but from unshakable faith in his ability to overcome all challenges. Stop awaiting guarantees. Stop awaiting bravery. Stop awaiting signals, approval, or praise. Act first. Force the world to adjust to your momentum. Attention can be commanded. Followers can be purchased. You may scream until your name echoes globally, yet respect operates differently. Respect won't respond to pleading. It resists imitation. It rejects lending. It's seized, secured through authority, upheld by strength, and protected relentlessly. To earn genuine respect, start by cultivating unshakable self-respect. Move through life with silent, steel-clad conviction of your rightful place in any setting. The fearless man carries himself distinctively. No justifications, no approval-seeking, no compromising principles to escape solitude. This very quality renders him invulnerable. Earning respect requires teaching others your boundaries. This lesson is conveyed through what you endure, what you acknowledge, and what you silently reject. Permitting indignity once guarantees its return. Settling for inferior treatment diminishes your worth. Recognize this truth. You either establish expectations or follow another's. The respected man dictates the atmosphere wherever he enters, not through volume or intimidation, but through principles as unyielding as forged metal. Elevated volume is unnecessary when quiet carries weight. Debate is pointless when principles aren't negotiable. Respect forms when others understand your uncrossable boundaries. Cross them? No negotiations occur. You vanish. No alerts, no opportunities for redemption, only withdrawal. The fearless man isn't shackled by others' validation. ease, or companionship. His allegiance belongs solely to his principles. Abide by your personal creed, and you'll radiate distinct energy. Others detect it instinctively, choosing their words carefully in your space, perceiving your gravity without utterance. That's true influence. This influence attracts three assets: chances, devotion, and awe, the pillars of true authority. The urge to relent will come, to drop defenses for flattery, to barter principles for belonging. Resist. Every concession erodes your sovereignty. A ruler who won't protect his reign has already forfeited it. Respect demands neither wealth, renown, nor terror, only self-mastery, uncompromising principles, and ironclad self-loyalty. The moment others doubt your boundaries, you've surrendered authority. Your code should speak through silence. Never forget. Respect outlives recognition. Applause dies when the show ends. Esteem endures beyond your exit. Let no one intimidate you, not their admiration, their indifference, nor their dismissal. Abide by your principles. Choose words deliberately, move decisively. Present yourself as a man accountable only to his purpose. Expect challenges, face skepticism, yet you'll remain undeniable. This is the path to becoming invincible.